Meet Ida, Lois's mother, and the worst person in the show. Her very first appearance in the show sets the tone for everything that follows. She and Victor show up unannounced, walk into the house like they own it, and within the first 10 minutes, it's already clear how she sees this family.
Hey! Come on in.
So this is certainly unexpected. What brings you all the way down from Canada?
Victor hands Reese $5 and tells him what a strong kid he is. Malcolm tries to introduce himself.
Huh? I said, did you have a nice drive?
I can't hear this one. He sounds like a girl.
Ida doesn't even look up. By the end of dinner, she's already told Dewey that when the Raiders come, they'll chase the fat ones into the hills first.
Fatten up on pizza. Good luck running when they come with the dogs and chase you into the hill.
She's insulted Hal's ability to provide for his family.
When you can provide for your family, you can have last piece of pizza.
And she's made it quietly, but unmistakably clear that Lois has always been a disappointment to her.
Hello!
For a first visit, that's an impressive amount of damage. The Christmas episode is where you really start to understand what kind of person Ida is at her core. Francis is sent to spend Christmas with her in Whitehorse because nobody else will.
I never know what you're talking about. Talk like a jackass.
He shows up with a musical Christmas card, which she takes as a personal attack.
You do this to torture me? To hurt me?
Things deteriorate from there.
You sound like you're dying.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
At one point, she stabs him in the leg with a knitting needle simply because he kept opening and closing the card.
Oh! God, what the hell is wrong with you?
You like pushing me? That's what happens when you push big, tough guy.
Francis tells her she should do the entire family a favor and just die, and Ida's response is to pinch the wound.
I am... Oh! God!
Oh, I am so sorry.
But then something unexpected happens. Later that night, drunk, she admits something to Francis. She tells him she actually respects him, that he reminds her of Victor.
You and him, both the same. Always had to have your own way. Nothing ever good enough.
For about 30 seconds, you almost feel something for her. And then Francis finds the closet. Hidden under the stairs is a collection of Christmas gifts she bought for the family over the years and never gave them.
Oh my God, Donatello with pizza throwing action? I wanted one of these when I was 6.
I know you did. I bought that for you.
A bread maker for Lois, a camera for Hal. She withheld every single one of them. The bread maker because Lois didn't write back once. The Ninja Turtles figure because a young Francis called her Poopy on the phone and hung up.
Your mommy put you on the phone? You call me Poopy and hung up.
She never forgets. A few seasons later, Ida slips on a leaf in the front yard and breaks her collarbone. One unraked leaf, and instead of letting it go, she hires a lawyer and sues her own daughter for everything she has.
Is this 1233?
Go ahead, this is her.
You've been served.
When Lois finds out, her first instinct isn't anger.
Mother, please, think about what you're doing. You are suing your own child.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let the lawyers handle it.
To give her one more chance, which tells you a lot about how their relationship has worked for decades. Ida doesn't reconsider. She shows up to the deposition with a stenographer.
Your evil grandmother is suing us.
Did you hear that? He called me evil.
And she only drops the case when she finds out Hal and Lois have no insurance and there's nothing left to take.
I think I feel well enough to travel.
She wasn't trying to win. She just wanted to hurt them. Ida has moved herself into the house right as Lois is about to give birth. She takes over the space, criticizes everything.
Mother, we can't afford to put you up here.
You can afford a maid.
I'm not the maid, Ida.
At some point, Francis has enough and tries to physically remove her, which turns out to be a mistake.
You have no idea how good this makes me.
So the family starts thinking differently. Every villain has a weakness, and Ida's isn't hard to find. She is genuinely, aggressively terrified of black people. So they call in Abe and his friends. They show up and fill the room. Like it's the most natural visit in the world.
So what you doing later on? 'Cause I like that wagon you drag.
And the genius of it is that there's nothing Ida can actually do. She can't complain. She can't object.
Well, hello.
The moment she opens her mouth, she gives herself away completely. So she just has to sit there, seething, while the one strategy that's ever actually worked on her plays out right in front of her. The family didn't beat her with rules or arguments or logic. They beat her with her own ugliness. And for one episode at least, that was enough. Then comes the episode where Ida announces she's engaged to a wealthy Chinese man named Mr. Lee.
I met him on my Alaska cruise. We're getting married tomorrow.
The whole family is thrilled.
We'll be separated from her by the entire molten core of a planet. It's like Christmas.
But, of course, it's not that simple. Malcolm figures out that Ida has been drugging Mr. Lee with opiate-laced tea to keep him compliant.
The woman I dined with the first night was confined to sickbay after she fell overboard.
He's not in love with her. He has no idea what's happening.
What is this? A list of my bank accounts and the amounts in them.
He's been in a medicated haze for weeks while Ida planned out their entire future together. When Malcolm tells Lois, she confronts her mother.
It's called seduction. It's no different from wearing perfume.
Ida's response is to drug the entire family so they can't stop the wedding. She only fails because Mr. Lee eventually sobers up, sees her clearly for the first time, and walks straight out the door without looking back.
You won't leave me! No, I'm pregnant! Oh!
Around the same time, something else comes to light that reframes Ida's entire character. Through a DNA test, it's revealed that Victor was never actually Lois's biological father.
This says that Dad is not my father.
Ida had an affair with another man, kept it secret for decades, and let Lois grow up believing she was Victor's daughter. A man who barely acknowledged her, who locked her in a closet when she was 2, who got her drunk when she was 8. Lois spent her entire childhood trying to earn the approval of a man who wasn't even her father. And Ida knew, the whole time.
What? Mother, how could you do something like that?
I was lonely.
When Lois confronts her, Ida actually tries to alter the DNA results on the spot.
We can change this A to a B. The judge will completely buy it.
And when that doesn't work, she just sits there. No apology, no explanation, just Ida being exactly who she's always been. Lois walks out and doesn't look back. By season 7, Ida shows up with a woman named Raduca, who she introduces as her maid.
Hi, Raduca.
Family howdy.
You're here to work, not gossip like a fishwife.
And from the moment they walk in, it's obvious Raduca isn't being treated like an employee. She's being treated like property. But Ida didn't bring her just to have someone to order around. She has a plan.
You will take Raduca for your bride.
You mean, like I marry her?
She's decided Raduca needs a husband, and she's decided that husband is going to be someone from this family. So she organizes a competition between Malcolm and Reese.
Oh!
A series of physical and mental challenges to determine who gets to marry a woman they've never met. Like it's the most normal thing in the world. Reese wins 2 rounds, Malcolm wins 1. And somehow by the end of the episode, Reese has eloped with Raduca to Las Vegas. Ida arranged a marriage in 2006 for her grandson, and it worked. Ida loses a leg might be the most complicated episode she's ever in. She's visiting the family when Dewey chases a toy car into the street, completely unaware of a truck coming toward him. Ida sees it. She loses her leg in the process. For a moment, you think this is her redemption arc, the episode where Ida finally shows she has something real underneath all of it. But the moment she wakes up, the one genuinely selfless thing she ever does in the entire series is already behind her.
No one really remembers the day they had their child. They pretend they do to feel important.
Dewey spends the rest of the episode consumed by guilt, trying to make it right, and Ida doesn't even acknowledge him, which is almost more disturbing than everything else. By the series finale, Ida is exactly the same person she was in her very first episode. Not one thing has changed.
You're gonna make this big mess. They're gonna blame someone. And you can make it anyone you want. A teacher, a neighbor. If you're lucky, a whole family goes down.
She bullies Lois into giving up her graduation ticket. She coaches Reese on how to frame someone else for his mess at school. Frances arrives at the house and genuinely considers hitting her with a fireplace poker. And in her last line of the entire series, covered in the aftermath of Reese's explosion, surrounded by her family, she looks around and asks,
Anybody else hungry?
That's Ida. From the first episode to the last. The world burns around her and she wants to know what's for dinner. Some characters in this show grow. Some of them change in ways you don't expect. Ida never does either. And somehow, after 7 seasons, that's the most unsettling thing about her. And if you want to see what the complete opposite of Ida looks like, someone who actually tried to connect, who actually felt something, check out our last video on Francis and every woman he ever loved. It's a very different story.